Right now I'm on my way to the gym because they offered a free trial, this gym that I'm going to today. Because when I get my money at the end of the month, I'm trying to join the gym so that I can actually get consistent with it. So I've tried out 2 gyms and I'm trying out another one today just to see what the facilities are like and if I'm liking it. So I'm going to head there now. Today I'm going to be working on back and biceps. So hopefully it's a good session, man. The gym is actually right in front of me now and my free trial starts at 3 p.m. So by my calculations, I'm just on time, which is good.
恐ろしい夢ってことだけはわかる。それに何かとても大事なことを忘れてしまっている気がする。喉に引っかかった小骨のようだ。恐ろしい。忘れたい。でも忘れてはいけないような。マーレの戦争が終わって2ヶ月。パラディ島侵略戦争がもうじき始まる。逃げなきゃみんな殺される。アルミンも俺たちを必死で探しているだろう。島の外の人間を大虐殺することもできなかった。
Okay guys, it's been a couple of hours since I left the gym. I was there for about 1 hour today. I just worked on back and triceps. I think I mentioned that earlier. It was a very good session. And then obviously because it was a free trial, they spoke to me afterwards and asked me if I'd be interested in joining on a membership deal. And I said, yeah, I would. I just need to wait until I get paid. So what we did is that we scheduled a call there. So when I get paid, they're going to call me to see where my headspace is at. And then I'll let them know if I want to officially get membership. And then if I say yes, which I most likely will, then obviously I'll go to the gym and then sign up and then I'll get my card and everything and then I'll just be at the gym in it. Because I want to make it into something that's consistent, because a lot of people have been telling me that I have potential to, like when I go to the gym and take it seriously, then I could actually develop a really nice frame. So I also want to do it for myself as well, because you know, healthy body, healthy mind, and if you look good, you feel good, you know what I'm saying? So I just think it would be good for me to get in the gym, and I see a lot of my friends doing it, my friend Daniel, and I see quite a few other people online that are doing it as well. So, you know, I just want to be able to do the same thing. And it's actually good because it helps you to build discipline and so many other important qualities. And when you're in the gym, rather than focusing on the reward of the body, like saying I'll be happy when I get the body I want, one thing that I'm going to make sure I do is to fall in love with the process of going to the gym 3 days a week or however many days a week I decide to go, and then doing the workouts, you know, feeling the pressure and feeling the gains in my body. You know, that's the main thing for me that I want to achieve from when I start going to the gym on a regular basis. So hopefully I can do that. But yeah, right now I'm on my way to the mosque to go and pray Asr, and then once I finish with the mosque, I'll talk about the main point of this video. Bro, I've faced so many adversities, so many reasons today since I come back from praying that I could have said to myself, yo, I'm going to release this video on Thursday instead of Wednesday, but it's all about that mindset, man. I want it. I really want it. Like, I cut my finger earlier when I was coming back inside. I've lost my tripod, so now I'm just having to do bare awkward angles while I'm in the park. And then now whilst I'm trying to record, there's literally dogs in that area over there. And I don't know if you guys know me well, yeah, but one thing I will say now, I do not like dogs at all. Like, I've got PTSD. So as you know, in the last episode, if you haven't watched that, go watch it. We spoke about the introduction and talking about how with better habits, then anything becomes possible. Quote that I want to focus on today is from chapter 1, and it goes as follows. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. Now this one, when I was reading chapter 1, there was a lot of good quotes in chapter 1, but I think this one hit me more than most, if not all of them, because a lot of people nowadays, they tell themselves that when I get to where I want to be, I'm gonna be happy, or it will allow me to be happy. But what this quote is basically trying to say is that you don't have to wait for all of that before you can tell yourself that you're happy, because at the end of the day, being happy is purely just an emotion. You shouldn't have to tell yourself when you're allowed to be happy. You should be able to be happy as many times and as much times as possible throughout your life. We need to prioritize the process rather than the outcome. Falling in love with the process is very, very important in what you do, because it's going to help you build discipline, and it's going to help you build genuine love and passion for what it is that you're trying to pursue. Because when you fall in love with the process rather than the outcome or the product, as James Clear says, you're going to actually want to do it. Like, say for example, now in the vlog earlier, you guys saw me going to the gym, right? And I was talking about how I want to fall in love with the process of going to the gym. Because if I tried to fall in love with the process of I just want that body, and I fall in love with the outcome, then I'll fail to lose sight of what's most important, which is building a positive habit. Falling in love with the idea of going to the gym, getting that membership, walking to the gym, doing the workouts in the gym, it's important because it's going to help you to build discipline. On days you really don't want to go, you're going to be like, nah, I've got a passion for this, or it's something I really want to do to better myself. So always prioritize the process over the outcome. Falling in love with the process will help you to create positive habits as well. Because as I've said, when you fall in love with the process, it reinforces it into your mind that this is something that you like to do. And your brain thrives off of gratification and stuff like that. So if you tell your brain that this is what you like to do, then your brain is going to always make sure, or help you make sure, that you go and get it done. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, just process over outcome. You don't need to earn your happiness. As I was saying earlier, happiness is an emotion. You don't need to be able to wait for a certain outcome before you can say that you're happy, or you don't need someone to come and tell you that you're happy before you can feel happy. Happiness starts from within yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you remember that happiness is an emotion, and emotions are often irrational. Society has conditioned us to thinking that you're only allowed to be happy once you achieve what you want to achieve. And this is why it's very important to fall in love with the process, because you could be going through hell trying to get to what you want to achieve, but because you haven't fallen in love with it, you may as well go and quit, because that's what you might go and do, because of the fact that you haven't fallen in love with the process. You haven't built a passion for it. You're just obsessed with the outcome that you have in your mind. And to be honest, even that outcome in your mind, it could be a trick that your mind is playing on you, because who says that you're going to get to that outcome that you're trying to reach? That's why falling in love with the process is very, very important, man. Trust me. When you fall in love with the process, consistency is going to be able to come second nature to you. You're going to be able to know it like the back of your hand, and that's when it becomes a habit, because a habit is something that you perform day in, day out, routinely, almost like your brain is telling you to do it because it's embedded into your system already. So falling in love with the process will help you want to go and do the action more, so then you can build the habit, and then habits build consistency builds discipline, and you're just reaping the rewards from it. There's so many rewards to reap from falling in love with the process rather than the outcome. When you also fall in love with the process, or when you're in the process of falling in love with the process, hey, that was a bit of a mouthful, I'm not gonna lie, but anyways, it helps you to build your identity. You're shaping this new version of yourself that you're trying to become, and that's also probably going to motivate you to work even harder to make sure that you reach those heights, because everybody's always wondering, if I really put in the work, what would the new version of me look like? Well, if you fall in love with the process, you'll be able to get a very good idea of it. And because you like that new version of you, the one that's more enhanced, the one that's going to get you to better places and help you to achieve more things in this life and the next one, you're building your identity. So you're going to want to fall in love with the process, and rather than focusing on, the outcome, as I've said quite a few times in this video now, focus on who the process is making you turn into. What type of person is falling in love with this particular process going to turn you into? Like going to the gym is going to turn you into somebody that's healthy, athletic, and regularly exercises. And health is wealth. If you look good, you feel good. I tell this all the time. It's very important. I tell this to myself almost every day. Health is wealth, man. Please look after your bodies, because God gave us these bodies as a blessing, and He gave us the responsibility of dealing with these bodies in a according manner. So you have to take care of it. You can't just discard it as if it's worthless. And then the last thing I want to talk about, which is actually very important, is that falling in love with the process helps you to deal with losses in a way better manner. Everybody has losses in life. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just one of the trials on your road to greatness, But when you take a loss while falling in love with the process, rather than seeing it as a loss, you're able to turn it into a lesson and be like, okay, this didn't go well, I can do this next time. And then you get up and you try again. Simple. But if you see things as a loss because you're fixated on the outcome, it's going to be harder for you to get back up and try again. You're going to be like, I can't believe, why did this happen to me? You're going to be doing all of this complaining and moaning, having a victim mindset, and it's only going to set you back further. So it's really important that you're able to free yourself from the outcome anxiety. So all of that can be done with falling in love with the process.